oh my god, everyone is just so social. Everyone's always talking to each other.
Why can't I do that?
AOC, they should make me ZZZZ.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a very much so podcasty setup. I mean, I don't know how many people do podcasts in their beds. I just wanted to hold the mic. I have no excuse. I just wanted to hold the freaking mic. Today, I will be talking about things that I learned about myself over the past year as a socially anxious introvert. In this video, I am very much so going to be exposing myself. Probably going to be rambling a little bit, so it might be a long one. Just in case, get some tea, start a drawing, continue a drawing, get some homework, plan a business. Let's get started. So I feel like in this video I'm going to be talking about shyness, introversion, and social anxiety. I just want to differentiate between them before I get started. Shyness, I feel like it's that feeling that everybody gets when they meet somebody new. You know, you're not completely yourself and you're just a little bit withdrawn, and I feel like that's a trait that literally everybody shows. Introversion is just when you get the most energy when you're by yourself. Some people thrive in social situations, others thrive when they're by myself. I personally thrive when I'm by myself, and I genuinely believe that that's why I love creating videos so much. My favorite sport is tennis because most of the time it's not a team sport. I love to draw. All my passions in life basically occur when I'm alone. I don't know what that says about me. Social anxiety is an anxiety disorder. To me personally, it feels like around people that I'm not comfortable around, which is most people, I just don't know how to be myself. I turn into a robot, and that affects me physiologically, mentally, and my personality just becomes so watered down, so diluted to like 1% of what it actually is. Once again, those are just how those things feel to me. People show shyness, introversion, social anxiety in different ways and to varying degrees. So if it's different for you, please do not come for me. So the first thing I learned about myself is that a lot more people struggle with social anxiety than I thought when I was in high school. And in high school, it was really bad. Whenever I'd go anywhere where I didn't know anybody, whenever I'd start a new class, I would be like, oh my god, everyone is just so social. Everyone's always talking to each other.
Why can't I do that?
And I just convinced it's really hot. It was cold before, now it's really hot, and I want to take this jacket off. I'm not going to though because it looks cute. Anyways, I just convinced myself that no one in the world could ever possibly experience what I was experiencing, and I was very woe is me. I was very I'd always have my own little pity party. I just convinced myself that no one would ever understand what I was going through. As I got older, I just realized that a lot of people have it. Some people are just better at hiding it. Some people are just more comfortable maybe around you than they are around other people, so their social anxiety might not come through as much as it usually does. I know for a fact that some people don't sense it at all when I'm talking to them because my personality vastly varies, which I kind of hate, depending on who I'm talking to. People aren't one-dimensional, so you can't take one social interaction, or you can't take somebody's social interactions with you and take it as their entire personality, because that's just not how people work. So if you think you're alone out there, you are not, and that's on period. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is therapy. Therapy isn't as scary as I thought. And I know my dad's watching this video, and I know how African parents feel about therapy, so yeah, it's not as scary as I thought, but it is a bit more complicated than I thought, because in my head I was always like, I just need to go see one therapist and they will fix all my problems immediately and I'll be all good. No, that is not how it works. It's a little bit more complicated than that. I don't know why I'm exposing myself like this, but I just feel like it could be helpul because I feel like not a lot of people talk about this, most especially Africans. Speaking about mental health in African communities is basically non-existent, and it's very sad, and I really think it needs to be spoken more about. Like, I have mentioned mental health to several Africans in my life and they'll laugh at you. They'll be like, that's for white people. I'm just like, you that's constantly crying to me because of issues that you have that I cannot help you with because I'm not a therapist. You are telling me that you don't need to. Okay. What was I saying? I don't remember. I was making a point. I don't remember the point. Oh yeah, therapy isn't as complicated as I thought. I thought it would be so expensive. I remember Googling and it would always say, oh, it's like $300 per session. And that's not always the case. It can be, but it's not always the case. There are certain places you can go to, especially in Australia here where we have free healthcare. A lot of therapists are bulk billed. A lot of places you can have 10 sessions for free and then you start paying, or you can have, I don't know, 5 sessions for free, you could start paying. So there's a lot of stuff you could look into. You could do a lot of things online as well. So yeah, look into it. Get amongst it. Oh my god, I love this. Guys, should I start a podcast? No. Maybe one day. Next point is that people can take your social anxiety or introversion as cute or rude, and I feel like it's strongly dependent on what you look like and how you see yourself. Like, I would consider myself a very confident person. I know that I can be socially anxious at times, and it can really come through and make me appear like really strange, and it's really embarrassing depending on who I'm around, but I'm kind of like confident in it, which is kind of weird to say. Like, I know myself, I know how I am, I know things I need to work on. Like, I literally sometimes will go to an event and not talk to anybody, and I know that probably makes me come across as rude, but I'm literally just screaming in my, like, the entire time. It's just internal screaming, and that's why I just can't socialize. But people don't get that, and because I probably appear confident and like I don't look down, I walk with my head up high, people probably see that as me, like, what's the word, snubbing them, or me thinking that I'm better than them. And I have had instances where people have straight up told, I mean, I haven't heard it directly, but I've indirectly heard from other people that people, oh my gosh, say people one more time. I have indirectly heard that some people see me as rude, and I'm just like, sorry, my brain is broken. Just kidding, my brain isn't broken. Once again, I was making a point and I don't remember said point, so I am going to move on. Oh yeah, I was talking about how people can see your introversion / social anxiety / shyness as cute or rude depending on what you look like. I distinctly remember being in high school, there was this one girl. I feel like we had the exact same personality. We were both very quiet. We both barely spoke to anyone, but I noticed that people would always introduce themselves to her. People would always come up to her. People would, like, they would always talk to her. They would always try to include her in conversation, but never me. Like, one thing I have noticed that has stayed consistent in my life since I was in high school is that when I'm in like a new class or in social situations where I don't really know people, people will never come up to me and speak first. People never start conversations with me. And I have my theories as to why. But maybe it's because I have like a mean body language. Like, what am I supposed to do? Stand there and smile and be like waiting for someone to come and talk to me? Like, what do you think? Because I don't know how to solve that issue. I kind of touched on this before, but my personality is perceived very, very different depending on the people I'm around. So I've been told by people that I feel comfortable around that I don't come across as awkward whatsoever. Conversely, people who I don't feel comfortable around have told me that I'm awkward, or I was awkward in the past, or whatever, something along those lines. That just goes to show what I was talking about earlier, that people are multifaceted, and a lot of the time someone's personality around you is based on the vibes that you give off or how much you two connect. Like, I find that I'm not that much of a people person, but when I connect with someone, I connect with someone, and I can definitely probably come across as an extrovert to certain people, and that's like very, very rare for me. And I love it when I connect with people like that, because it feels like sunshine is just like bursting out of my chest whenever I'm around people that I'm just like completely myself around, and it's fun, it's great. Next thing I want to talk about is the fact that I am way too comfortable being alone. Like, I genuinely feel like if you drop me in the middle of the woods where I know for a fact that I'm not going to be attacked by a psycho running rampant at night. See, what's that movie called with the deaf lady and a guy with a freaking bow and arrow? Hush? No. Hush? No. Hush? I think it's Hush. Great movie. Go watch it. It's on Netflix. I feel like I can be dropped in the middle of the woods knowing that I'll be safe with Wi-Fi, money for like a year, and for the most part I'll be fine. Like for the first couple months of isolation, I barely saw anybody. Like I have a housemate, but she still had her job during the lockdown and I didn't. So for the most part, I was very much so by myself. I was content. I mean, I was texting my friends, but I barely saw anybody. But then when lockdown restrictions were lifted, when I started to see people again, I literally was so uncomfortable. I was like, how do you do this again? How do you speak to people? And I would go out with some of my closest friends and just like barely speak to them. And it's so weird because like the last time I saw them, maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, we were having a blast. We couldn't stop talking to each other. But then after lockdown, I see her again and I'm quiet the whole time. And it was just like, wow, being alone can really be a detriment to you, because at the end of the day, social interaction is very important. Basically, if you want to live a regular life in this world, you have to interact with people in your school and careers. Working in a team in life is just something that you cannot avoid. Communicating with people is just something that you cannot avoid. So as comfortable as I feel being by myself alone in my apartment for days on end, it can be nice for maybe a few days, but I don't know. I don't think being by yourself for long periods of time is the most healthy thing. Maybe it works for some people, but for me personally, and I feel like maybe for a lot of people out there, it's not the healthiest thing to do. I have recently realized that a lot of my anxiety is rooted in the fear of failure. It's rooted in the fear of the future. And I'm sure if you grew up in a family with, strict parents like I did, you can understand succeeding is seen as the most important thing in life. Just to relax and look into yourself and realize that you are worth more than your brain. Even though that kind of doesn't make any sense, because if you didn't have a brain, you wouldn't be alive. So that doesn't make any sense. What I mean to say is you are worth more than your intellectual abilities in regards to school, because intellect isn't solely how good you are at math or how good you are at science or how good you are at freaking human biology. Intellect goes way past that. Someone like Beyonce, I would say, has a lot of intellect, even though, her career isn't based on where she went to school. It's based on her talent, and she has a lot of it. Like, imagine being the powerhouse. She's been one of the biggest people in the music industry for like 30 years. That's insane and that's unheard of. So intellect can be shown in many different ways. You are worth more than your grades at school. That being said, stay in school, study very, very hard, but also do other things, work out, do some sports, find a hobby, get a job on the side, do something fun, find value in other things. Life is more than education. If you can only experience happiness when you succeed educationally or succeed financially, you're not going to be very happy, because life is full of ups and downs. Next thing I want to say, it is not your job to make other people feel comfortable. And I'm not saying be rude, be a kind person, but I don't think that it is helpful to anybody to go out of your way to feel uncomfortable to make somebody else feel comfortable. In normal situations, obviously there are exceptions. Okay, let me give an example. This really annoys me. I've been in situations where, I'm among a group of people. I maybe am close friends with one person there, and the rest of the people, I don't know. And if I'm asked a question by somebody, I give a brief answer, not because I'm rude, but because I literally don't have anything else to say. And I've been told by people after the fact, like by the close friend that was there with me, that people saw that as rude. And I'm just like, what? You're in a massive group of people, and me not having an extended answer for you makes you mad? Maybe I just need an outside opinion on this. Guys, what do you think? It bothers me that being talkative is the norm. Why have we just collectively decided that if you're not talkative that you're rude? Why is that? Who decided that? I would like to have a chat. I would like to talk. Come out. I won't jump you. A lot of the time, you really just have to conform even though you are uncomfortable. I mean, I guess I do see where people are coming from when they say things like that, because I don't know, if you're trying to be friendly to someone and you're trying to get them talking, get them involved with the conversation, and if they're not talking a lot, it might come across as they don't like you or they're trying to be rude. I think more people just need to realize that social anxiety is a thing, being an introvert is a thing. A lot of the time I'll be so talkative and then all of a sudden it's crickets because my social battery runs out. And I know that may sound like a stupid concept to a lot of people, but sometimes my brain is just like, ugh. I power down like I'm an animatronic. It's really weird, and I really wish it didn't happen, because just imagine you're in a fun situation, you're at a party, you're with friends, everyone's talking, chatting, having a good time, and so are you, and then all of a sudden you just become sad and withdrawn, and your brain kind of just, the social switch just switches off, and then you continue to see everybody talking. You know you're missing out on the fun, but you genuinely just can't get back in, and all you want to do is go home. People are shy, people are introverted, and I think more people just need to realize that instead of going straight to, oh, she's a meanie. But I think that once again it goes down to body language maybe. Like I said, maybe I don't have the nicest body language, and that's probably something I need to work on. Another thing I've realized is that the world just generally doesn't see introverts as confident, which is really annoying. Or maybe not introverts, maybe like introverts, people with social anxiety, shy people, maybe that collectively. I remember one time at uni, it was one of my first classes, it might have been my first day at uni. This guy, I guess he was going around trying to talk to people, and like people were trying to do their work, and he already had friends in the class, so I don't know why the hell he was doing that, bothering innocent bystanders. After going around the class, he goes back and sits next to his friend, and he literally started berating this whole class because he was like, why is everybody so quiet? I'm pretty sure he called them idiots or something similar. I was like, are you kidding me? Maybe they don't want to talk to you with your hot ass breath, dude. Like, huh? He said it so loud as well. I was just like, really? He probably saw the people as not confident, which is why he felt like he could call people idiots or whatever he said. It was a mean word. I remember just being so disgusted. First of all, maybe they don't want to talk to you. Second of all, maybe they don't want to talk in general. That doesn't mean they're not confident. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. Just mind your business. Talk to your own friends, which you should have been doing in the first place instead of going around disturbing the freaking peace. Another thing I've noticed is there's this contradiction where a lot of the time I'm told I need to talk more, but then when I do talk, I get ignored. What? Ooh. If 2 + 2 is 4 and 5 + 5 is 10, what the hell is that? Make it make sense. How are you gonna tell me to talk and then ignore me when I try to? I don't understand. Make it make sense. So that brings me to the end of my video, and if there is one thing that I want to leave you with, it's that you need to be kind to yourself. You cannot be mean to yourself and expect to be happy. You have to pick one, and I know that's easier said than done, but I hope this video somehow helped in a way. I don't really know if this was an advice video or just me sharing my thoughts and just rambling the thoughts that are in my brain. Life is way too short. Be kind to yourself, be kind to other people, help people when you can. Your aim should be to leave this world in a better place than the way it was when you came in. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in my next video. Bye.
Like it is what it is.